Okay, you guys, welcome back. So, last couple of weeks, I think we've made it pretty clear that Matt really likes the new TSI 3 driver.
Yes. The number one question that comes with it was, oh, are you going to use the AUTOFLEX in that? And I was like, I don't know. So rather than just completely dismiss it, we're actually going to test a functional test of a shaft that I probably will end up playing and the AUTOFLEX, and let's just see how feasible it would be to play on the course.
Yeah, you have your VENTUS Black that you played in your ping.
Yep.
The chances are pretty high that there's a Titleist tip going on that, at least just to give it a run.
It's been, so that and the Fuji Tour Spec 2.0. So Fuji was nice enough to have both of them for me to test. So it'll be one of those, I think.
It'll be one of those. Yeah. And the question people will ask is, why on earth wouldn't you try AUTOFLEX? You had it so good. You really had control of your strike point. You added some speed. You just drove it as good as a person can drive it, which you did in that little last test.
So I think what I said to people was, the test was, first of all, super fun, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It was really cool to display all the kind of components of fitting that you use to make it work well.
Right.
But I was at, 98.9% effort, and I wouldn't swing like that. I was very warmed up. If we talked about this, if it's a cold day, if you're trunk slamming, which I did a couple times this weekend, is it really a driver you would play, given that it performs at its best at maximum output? And I don't play golf like that.
Yeah, if you're a PGA Tour player and you get to the course 2 hours before, you go to the physio trailer, you kind of go warm up, you go through an hour of hitting balls, and you really prep your body for what's going on, for that 18 holes. You probably could play something that's like that, and that's a discussion you and I have been having, as we discuss longer drivers and things like that. So today we've got you cold, because this is literally the first balls that you're going to have hit all day.
Yeah, 8:30 in the morning, and it would be like having a 9 a.m. tee time. You can hit a couple and go play. So, I'm definitely stating the difference between last test and this one is just the realistic effect of this is how I would play golf.
Yeah.
And the last one was a test of how far can we hit a ball with a setup. Yeah.
While still being open to, this could be great.
I'm 100% open to it.
Yeah.
If it's great, it's great. Like, I have no aversion to playing it. I really don't. I know they would send us one for me to use. So no, there's no bias to this whatsoever. No. Whatever happens will happen.
Okay, let's baseline with the VENTUS Black 6X. Let's take some opening hits and then we'll switch you over, Matt. That is nice.
Very nice looking flight.
Okay, she's back.
Here it is.
Just brings a smile to your face.
It is. It's a lovable character of the channel. a familiar face.
All right, let's kind of hit a few. This will be fun. Because you striped that there with the VENTUS as you normally do with that shaft. You hit it very straight, remarkably tight on your numbers. I think that's the one thing that always surprises me with that Titleist is just how tight it keeps that standard deviation. Launch, everything just kind of stayed really, really tight.
And these are perfect golf course numbers for me. So when I kind of first tee with a small warm-up, if I flew them 295, 300 off the first tee, I'd be super happy. So I think that's exactly what it would look like on a good driving day with VENTUS and that. Yeah. And then I'll try to make similar effort and see if we get some more pop out of this.
A little bit more out it.
The magic is not lost yet.
He duly obliges.
Oh, man.
If the flag was there, it might have had a chance to go in.
So let's remember that the first swing magic is AUTOFLEX's. Remember that?
Yeah.
You always said that, like, don't hit too many, which is good. Today's like, we're not going to hit 50 drives with it, so it's more like a selection of the 8 or 9 drives you hit on the golf course. Really didn't disappoint. Okay, so before I look at the club head speed, would say I'm not trying harder.
Yeah.
but I'm swinging a bit faster.
You're a bit quicker, no question.
2-3 miles an hour is no joke.
Yeah. And that's the longer shaft, right?
Yeah, and then that's exactly what I mean.
That's the longer shaft. Yeah. That's the softer shaft that's accelerating at a quicker rate.
The one thing I'm noticing in the first couple swings is the club getting a little bit more behind me.
Mm-hmm.
The second swing, I think I got away with it nicely. That one felt more like this.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got a little stuck, so I'll try to better. I have to say, like, the little bit of extra pop without extra effort.
Nice, isn't it?
It's feasible, yeah. It's not.
Nice.
It's not a joke. Striking it well, which is, again, that was the pattern last time.
I think that's the thing that people always are surprised with AUTOFLEX is they expect to hit it all over the face, but maybe it'll be worth it.
Yeah, it's not going to be all over the face, I don't think, based on
it.
If it's fit well the way you fit me well to this, then I don't see why you would hit it all over the face.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I feel that as a possibility, unfortunately, because that was a very good strike and it had dynamic loft on it and stuff. I think I'm feeling like this will let the face to path get a little closed and the path get a bit in to out.
Okay, so let's put that weight toe side just to offset that CG a little bit.
Some speed in it though. A little better. Okay, so this would be the point of a fit for me, where I would say I don't mind what's going on with it. I do feel the need to adjust a bit now though.
Yeah.
Because I think even with the toe weight, the ball wants to do that on a very solid strike, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I probably just need to work on myself neutralizing the delivery a bit so the spin stays on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. More of a fade swing maybe, just a bit. Hang on to that one a little bit more. It's good. It's a good flight. You got more speed out of that also.
I would say you need to tee the AUTOFLEX a little bit higher because the low point is more behind you.
Okay, higher tee.
Yeah.
I think given the same swing, I don't think this works the same as VENTUS. I think I just need to make a couple little setup adjustments and these are worth seeing. I'm not saying we shouldn't at least show these, but the tee height and the neutralizing of the swing and launching a bit, I think are necessary. It's the same way that a longer shaft kind of helps you swing faster. I think they're necessary to make this work better.
In the same way that a 3-wood will help you hit down a little bit more, a shorter driver will be a little bit more or less upward. So that ball position has to adjust, that tee height has to adjust a little bit to suit the inch longer shaft.
So I'm going to make that adjustment and let's get a little set with that. So a bit more forward and a bit higher tee.
Yeah.
And just launch it up a bit higher.
Just launch them up. That's the formula.
That's the one.
She gone.
A lot of carry.
Yeah.
Okay, let's hit a few like that.
That's nice.
It's a scramble driver, no doubt about it. Or an event where hitting it super long is there and I can make the adjustment. The amount of effort I'm putting into that one to hit at 338 is very low. Like, I was not trying to hit that hard.
It almost seems like you've got two ways you can play this. It seems like you've got a way in which you can kind of like hit it flat and control it, and you've got a way in which you can bomb it. If you just tee it a little more, you've kind of got an option, like a,
You've got a red line.
Yeah. That's turbo low spin.
Yeah, I think if you just have a nice pace swing, you get extra pop. Like that was so not high in effort, like really smooth, and it was
easy.
A 120 club head speed, which usually requires me to push on it a little bit.
Probably not an unexpected result. Definitely quicker with AUTOFLEX.
Yes.
You know, you kind of, like we talked about, you do have to change your delivery a little bit to cater to it. So you have to up on it a little bit more because you've got a longer shaft. You're a little more into it. You have to manage your club face a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right? You feel like you're swinging that golf club a little bit more into out, a bit more of a left exit.
Yes.
So your face kind of hangs on a little bit because of that.
Gotcha.
You picked up 2.6 miles an hour club head speed.
That's quite interesting.
That's worth it to a lot of people who have kind of feel like they've just hit that ceiling with their speed.
This test was more interesting about the club head speed than last time, because last time, as I said to you, I was swinging as hard as I could.
We were just seeing like how long can we make it go. These were gamer swings.
Exactly. So making a gamer swing and seeing 2.5 miles an hour just appear, and that's how it felt. I was making the same effort, but getting 2.5 miles an hour club head speed. That's quite interesting. And that's the shaft length plus the design, I guess, giving you the extra pop.
So you were pretty faultless with Ventus, very straight lines. You had a little bit more shape when you hit AUTOFLEX. So you had kind of that little pocket 5 shots, wanted to turn over a little bit more. You know, it is a kind of pick your poison a little bit. What do you want? So you've got some bombers in there. The 340 ball lives in that driver.
And it wasn't even that hard of a swing. That's the interesting part.
No, it really wasn't. It was exactly like all the other ones.
Yeah, 120 swing. Yeah. That's the part of it that's very interesting for me, is this session exposed the fact that you can hit this driver a lot further with AUTOFLEX properly fitted in it without swinging harder. However, control of the ball, strike control and stuff, I think I had a better time with Ventus in terms of keeping the ball in the fairway.
Yeah. And I think that comes down to, obviously, that it's a great shaft. It comes down to a shorter shaft. It's a stiffer shaft. Like those are the things you're going to get with that type of product. Now, one thing I will say is I'm not convinced AUTOFLEX and TSI is the best combination the way that it was with Sim.
Yeah.
I think, you know, where your strike lay and the way we were able to set that Sim up, I think there's a chance that was part of what was going on that was so good.
I think Sim and AUTOFLEX were a better dance partner, as you would put it.
I definitely think so.
There's no doubt about that. Listen, it is very interesting. Would I play it every round of golf? No. But I would play it for specific like fun events if it was like a scramble, or we were playing somewhere that's super long and there were wide fairways. Would I try it for that? Yes. Would I play it at my home course where some par 5s have 20-yard wide fairways? No. Because there's no point. For me to get 13 yards, let's use it a par 5 for example, I'm probably hitting the same club just a bit harder with my normal driver. And that isn't enough of an advantage for me to, it's not going to change my game. Missing fairways and having wild shots will cost me way worse.
If it was May and we were doing this today, I would say the next step is to take it to the golf course. Let's go see.
Yeah.
Right, because really, you can argue both ways, but it's based on what you think, what you theorize will happen.
Yes, it is.
Reality is we'd have to take this to the course, and if you took it to the course, could you get yourself into a comfortable spot with that and enjoy the upside, or do you just feel like you've got a much safer play with the Ventus?
Good point.
You would probably want to get a little data set from that.
I would. I would love to have the AUTOFLEX with the Titleist tip adjusted the exact way we want, the grip I use on there, and yes, go play golf with it. And bring another one with the Ventus and hit a few shots with that. And maybe we do that, you know, come next year.
It would be pretty cool, and obviously that's the type of thing that would be perfect for Arcos to go, okay, you know, one driver, another driver, strokes gained.
So true.
Is it worth, you know, maybe the odd miss fairway, but you're still getting further down there, hitting a shorter club, your proximity gets a lot closer, all those sorts of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good test. It was fun. It was definitely fun.
Definitely. Okay, guys, we're still curious about AUTOFLEX. We're still enjoying it. It's still giving us the exact same results. This to me might have actually been, I know this will probably sound a little strange considering what we've done with it so far, this might be the most interesting test for me that we've done, because we've never really, you know, tried to have Matt swing his gamer swing with that particular shaft. We've tried to just make it the kind of circus act of how far can it go, can we fly at 340, you know, all those sorts of things while controlling the variables. This is different. This is you trying to manage your golf ball and shoot a low score and see what it gives you, which is definitely a bit more still.
It's the application to the game of golf itself.
Definitely.
And there are upsides, but there are trade-offs as well. And I agree with you. This was quite interesting, and the final test would need to be outside for me to see if it is viable, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. It's definitely an interesting concept. We'll certainly be looking at it. More final fit coming up in the next couple of weeks for the driver. We'll
tighten the screws on the TSI 10 degree next week, maybe.
Once we get that head in, and we'll have some shafts available to us, and we'll really see how much we can dial that one in for.
That'd be awesome.
Okay, we look forward to that one, and we'll see you again soon.